Hello, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying my crazy videos. We're having fun making them. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's tutorial, we're going to be making this Beagle dog. Isn't she just adorable? A PDF version of this pattern is available on my website at bougerbags.com. There is a small fee. And of course, here on YouTube, it is a free pattern. This pattern is written for use with the number 6 bulky yarn and a 6mm crochet hook. I did use blanket yarn. The purple is Big Twist, and the accent color is Bernat Blanket. The safety eyes I ordered from Temu. The black accent yarn is from Joann's. This is my biggest seller in my booths. I have sold more of this pattern than anything else. I change this pattern into everything. I add a hood and some horns for Triceratops. You can add a different muzzle or just modify it just a little bit and have a cow. Put some different ears on it, some more horns, and you can have a cow. It's just a very versatile pattern. Yes, it is written as a Beagle dog, and it does look very cute when you make it in black and white. You can also, change up the nose. Put a little ball on there. It looks really cute. And they're so sweet. So huggable. So let's get started. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take a look at my other videos. Some of them are really cute, even if I say so myself.
For this tutorial, you will need a pair of scissors, a 6mm crochet hook, some safety eyes, and these have a glitter patch that goes on the back to shine through the front. Very cute. And I have 2 pieces of fabric that I've cut holes in the center of. You'll need a lighter, a pair of tweezers, some fabric glue, a darning needle, and the colors you want to use for your dog. You will also need a little bit of black for an accent color, and this is just the Posh yarn from Joann's. You may also need some stitch markers and some stuffing. Using the accent color, we're going to start with the legs. So we make a magic ring, and we're going to put 6 single crochet into the magic ring. For row 2, an increase in each stitch. Row 3 is a single crochet and an increase in each stitch. You should have 18 stitches when you're done. Okay, and just before you finish that last stitch, we're going to change to the body color. Row 4 is a single crochet in each stitch. You should have 18 stitches when you're done. Row 5 is a single crochet in each stitch. You should have 18 stitches when you're done. We can cut our first color now, and I like to tie them together. Turn that right side out. This is what it looks like so far. Row 6, single crochet 4, then decrease 4 times and 6 single crochet. You should have 14 stitches at the end of this round. Got kind of what looks like a little foot. There's 14 stitches in that row, and for the next 3 rows, rows 7, 8, and 9, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch. And I'm going to speed this up, and I'll meet you back here when it's done. Okay, so for row 10, we're going to do 3 single crochet and an increase all the way around. And you should have 2 stitches left. We're going to single crochet in one and the slip stitch in the last one, and we're going to finish off and leave a long tail for sewing. Stuff this foot, and I've gotten to where I don't overly stuff anymore on the appendages like this. And you need to make 2 of the feet. Back to the accent color. We're going to make the arms next. You're going to start with a magic ring and put 6 single crochet into the magic ring. The next row we're going to increase in each stitch. We should have 12 stitches when we're done with this row. For the next row, we're going to do a single crochet and an increase 6 times. We'll have 18 stitches at the end of this row. Just before you finish that last stitch, change to your body color. Row 4, we're going to single crochet 3, and then we're going to single crochet 3 together. And that is just a decrease involving 3 stitches. Okay, and then we're going to just continue this round for the next 9 stitches to the end of this row. Now the next rows are just a single crochet in each stitch, and I will meet you back here when I have these done. Row 8, we're going to do 3 single crochets and an increase. We're going to do that 3 times. We're going to slip stitch and finish off and leave a long tail for sewing. And then stuff your paw. You need to make 2 of these. Now we're going to make the ears. Start with a magic ring and put 8 single crochet into the magic ring. Row 2 is an increase in each stitch. You'll have 16 stitches when this row is done. Row 3 is an increase in each stitch. Row number 4, we're going to do 9 single crochets. Nine single crochet and a slip stitch. And we're going to leave a long tail for sewing. And you need to make 2 of these. Now for the tail, using the accent color, we're going to put 4 single crochet into the magic ring. And for row 2, we're going to increase in each stitch. For row 3, we're going to do 3 single crochet and an increase. Rows 4 through 10 are just a single crochet in each stitch, and you should have 10 stitches at the end of each row. For the last stitch, just do a slip stitch and finish off. Leave a long tail for sewing. Now, beginning with the body, the main body color, we're going to put 8 single crochet into a magic ring. This yarn is very difficult to see the stitches. It is big twist yarn from Joann's. But I just love the feel of it, so I'll just have to go by feel to find my stitches. Okay, row 2 is an increase in each stitch. You will have 16 stitches when you're done with this row. Row 3 is a single crochet and an increase. Row 4 is 2 single crochet and an increase in each stitch. 8 times. You'll have 32 stitches at the end of this row. Row 5 is 3 single crochets and an increase. Times 8, you'll have 40 stitches at the end of this row. Rows 6 through 11 are a single crochet in each stitch, and I will meet you back here when I have those completed. Row number 12 is 5 single crochets followed by a decrease. We're going to do that 5 times and then single crochet 5. We'll have 35 stitches at the end of it. Row 13 is 5 single crochet and a decrease. Row 14 is 5 single crochet and a decrease, then 2 single crochet. We should have 26 at the end of this row. We're starting to make that belly shape. Row 15 is 5 single crochet and a decrease. We're going to do that 3 times and then single crochet 5. You should have 23 stitches in that row. And for row 16, we're going to do 3 single crochet and a decrease. We're going to do that times 5. And we should have 18 stitches at the end of this row. Row 17 is a single crochet in each stitch. For row 18, we're going to slip stitch in the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to decrease and a single crochet 3 times, and then we're going to slip stitch in the last 3 stitches. Finish off and leave a long tail for sewing and stuff the body. I just kind of swirl that around the outsides of that and then fill the middle. Just keeps it a little bit smoother, in my opinion. Got a plump little puppy, because who wants a scrawny puppy? We want a plump little puppy. And that's what it looks like when we're done. We may need to add a little bit more here. We can do that later. Now we're going to make the head. We're going to start with a magic ring. We're going to put 6 single crochet into the magic ring. Row 2, we are going to increase in each stitch. Row 3, we're going to do a single crochet and an increase 6 times. You'll have 18 stitches when you're done with this row. Row 4 is 2 single crochet and an increase times 6, and you should have 24 stitches when you're done. Rows 5, 6, and 7 are going to be a single crochet in each stitch. You should have 24 stitches in each row. And I will meet you back here when I have those done. So for row number 8, we're going to single crochet 8, and then we're going to increase 4 times. We're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to increase 4 times. And single crochet 8. You should have 32 stitches at the end of this round. Row number 9, we're going to single crochet 12. Then we're going to increase and a single crochet 3 times, and then single crochet 11 to the end of the row. For the next 4 rows, rows 10 through 13 is just a single crochet in each stitch, and you should have 32 stitches in each row. And I will meet you back here when I have these completed. This is what it looks like. Okay, now we're going to put the eyes between rows 9 and 10. Take some glue. My little patches here. Now I usually put these on backwards, but today I'm going to try them the right way, and I can't seem to get those on there. Wow, that's bad. Those are more difficult than they should be. Okay, and then I'm going to take my lighter and I'm going to burn these so those don't pop off. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but we're going with it for today. Okay, for the next 2 rows, 14 and 15, we're going to do a single crochet in each stitch of 32 stitches in each row. And I will meet you back here when I have these completed. Okay, row number 16. We're going to single crochet 3 and decrease all the way around and you'll have 2 left over, and just single crochet those. Here you want to stuff the head. Okay, row 17 is single crochet 2 and decrease. Do that 6 times and have 2 left over, and just single crochet those. Row 18, we're going to decrease 10 times. You'll have 10 stitches when we're finished with this row. Okay, we're going to decrease 3 more times and then just stitch the hole closed. You don't need a real long tail for this one. Just going to hook that first loop in those next stitches. Close that up. I'm going to run that tail in there a couple of times and hide it in the head. Alright, there's our doggy head to go on our doggy body. Right, now we're ready to start sewing these together. On your body, it has more of a flat side and a tummy. The tummy part is the front. We're going to set our head on here like we want it to be, and I use bamboo skewers that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just carefully put them in so I can see where I want it to be sewn. The first few stitches kind of the most important because they're the ones that actually hold everything to keep it straight. And yes, I'm using the blanket yarn, so I pull this straight through so that it lasts a little longer, doesn't start to fray so quickly. After that first few stitches, I try to hook first row here and a couple of stitches into the head like this. And then I hook under here to catch that first loop, that first row on the body. And then I pull it snug. Check to make sure it's still where you're wanting it. And if you need any stuffing, now's the time to put it in here when you've got just a little bit left. Take out my skewers. Make sure it's going to stay where I want it. Add that little bit of stuffing just to stiffen up the neck. And I'm going to bring this needle out somewhere down here. Next, I like to sew on the legs. And I want the legs to sit so that my plushie sits up by himself. And you can tell if he's tipping a little bit, you might need to move it up some. And I sew these in the same way. this out somewhere up here. And then I tie them together. Okay, the last piece that makes this stable is the tail, somewhere in the middle. I don't usually stuff the tail. Makes it quite a bit easier to sew on. This was the tail from sewing on the head. The arms have this little curve this way, so I usually like to put them in the center between the two, like it's open for a hug. And these like to move around a little more, probably because they're a little bit harder to sew on because of everything else that's already sewed on. So I usually hold those on with two, and then work around the edge, being careful that this does not move because it does like to move. Kind of hard to get in there sometimes. There's after our arms are on. For the ears, I take this inside tail and I weave it up in here around through the stitches, and then I just trim it off. Okay, so then we take the ears and we place them where the dog ears are supposed to go, where we want them, what they look like to us. I stitch back a little bit so that the ears don't turn inside out and lay different than what I want them to. So I stitch back as far as I need to keep that from happening. Looks like to about the center of the head. And then I stitch down the front to about the center of the eyeball. Remember, these ears are not round. They're just a little bit oval because we've added that last half row. So we're going to set this on here like we want this to be and match them up. And I'm going to sew it down just like the other one. But since my tail is on this side, I'm going to start in the front and work backwards. That's what it looks like. We're almost finished here. To make the nose, we're going to start with a long initial tail and then make a slip knot, and we're going to chain 5. And the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a single crochet, there'll be 4 single crochets in this row. Chain 1, we're going to skip that first stitch, and this row we'll just do 2 stitches. And then we're going to chain 1 and do a slip stitch because we're just kind of looking for a semi triangle shape here. You can also make a little ball and put on there, which that looks really cute. Okay, so I'm leaving the initial tail and this tail. So here's what our nose looks like. Just gonna place it right where we want it, and we're just gonna stitch it down. And I'm gonna come up here on the side where it's not as triangular as I want it, and I'm gonna stitch that part first to kind of fill in that little divot. I'm going to try to keep this so that it bubbles a little bit, and all you do to that is just stitch into the same spot a couple of times. Just kind of makes a little gather in the nose. And make sure it's good, secure and straight where you want it. And then I just bring this up here, and I take the first initial tail, bring that tail up right through there. And now the most important part is the details. I'm using the Posh yarn, and I'm going to start this in the top of his head somewhere, about where I want the eyebrows to be. And you decide how you want these eyebrows. Make sure you don't pull that all the way out. I like the more angled look like this, kind of like he's happy to see you. Then I bring that down to about where I want the mouth. I come back up under the nose. And I kind of pull that mouth a little tighter, just so it doesn't start to get snagged on something or something like that. I pull it a little tighter. Then for the paws, I usually come in through the back of the hand to the edge of where the accent color starts. I leave my tail back here. I make 3 toes. And I pull those pretty snug. And I do that with each of the paws. And there's your Beagle dog. Well, isn't he so adorable and so huggable?